Hi guys, it's Nick here from Unique Life Design. As we have nice weather today, quite a lot of sun actually, I decided to have a video, to do a video that will try to assess a little bit of the damage that we had with the recent adverse weather. So, the life of a tropical look gardener in the United Kingdom is unfortunately consisting of highs but also lows. When you have got the difficult weather, when your plants are suffering and you know it, it is beautiful. I've done a few videos showing how beautiful actually it is with the snow cover and even when frozen, but a lot of the plants actually suffer, and we may lose some of the plants, hopefully not in our case. When we were designing our garden, the idea was to never protect anything, never put anything indoors, and so we've experimented quite a lot with different varieties, and what we have now in the garden is a result of experimentation but also natural selection, so what has survived over the years. So that gives me hope, although we had quite a bad weather, that we may even be without losses or with very minimal losses. So I will try to go around showing you the plants, telling you a little bit about them, and seeing how they are doing. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I haven't really had a proper look in the garden to see how they've done and to see what has suffered. Mind you, not all of the damage will be showing now. We will know much more when the growing season starts. Then you may have some spear pulls from the palms or rot in other plants. So we will see how it looks now, and maybe in April we will do well, there is still plenty of winter to come, so maybe there will be another spell of bad weather. But anyway, hopefully a lot of the things will be okay, and in May probably I'll do another video showing what actually made it through the winter and what suffered badly. Okay, let's start from this side of the garden. This is the red cordyline. You can see we had, let me give the groundwork. We had maybe, I don't know, at least a week of quite deep freezes every night, and hardly thawing and unfreezing during the day. So this was followed by quite a big period of snow cover. There was a big snowfall, and it took probably another week, maybe 5 days, for the snow to thaw properly everywhere. So yeah, the plants did have to, fight through that. So yeah, I'm starting with the red cordyline red star here. The cordylines there in London, the temperatures went to -5, I believe. At some point I measured -6, but it was for not more than a couple of hours. So cordylines should be okay, and the big cordyline over there, I don't think we'll have a problem at all. But the more colorful cordylines are not as hardy. This one is close to the house, so it's quite sheltered and probably getting a bit of warmth from the house too. So I hope it will make it, but as you can see, it's not looking too good. Quite untidy, quite leaf damage, but if it's just a bit of leaf damage, and it will grow out of it. I still think this one will be okay. Hopefully, even if it loses this growing point, they tend to grow another growing head, so a few of them. So it will be interesting to see what will become. Let me see. Trachycarpus martianus Nepal here. You can see the leaf damage. Not great. And this is actually quite a beautiful palm, but as you can see, where it was actually protected from the leaves of the tree fern, it does not look too bad, although it was frozen too. So I do hope that this one will be okay. It's not the hardest of the Trachycarpuses, but I actually think this one will be fine. So tree fern. This tree fern has been really resilient. I can see some damaged leaves over here, but on the whole it looks much better than I expected. So I don't think we will have the problem with the tree fern. I'm not going to go through every plant because there are too many actually, but in some of them I can see its cousin down there, which is very small, australis, Dicksonia australis. Quite the leaf burn, but I also think it will be okay because it was under the cover of the red cordyline, so it gives me hope it will be fine. This is what is remaining of our Chamaedorea microspadix. Actually it had started its decline when a storm broke the main, actually this was the main at that time, the main stem, which was nearly 6 feet, about 2 meters high, maybe something like that, but it broke off and then it kind of triggered the decline of the whole plants. It had at one point maybe 3 or 4 growing heads, maybe even more, and now we have just this little one. But again, because it was low and because it was under the cover of other plants, it doesn't seem to have suffered too much. So hopefully this head will make it, and it will start the beginning of new clump here. So hopefully this one will be okay. Okay. Everything that is tender, like bananas or other things, is already burnt, of course, so there is no point in looking for them. We have Yucca gloriosa, which is untouched, variegata, which is untouched here. Trachycarpus princeps, little one here, which seems pretty much unaffected too. Chamaerops humilis looking quite nicely. They were looking a bit shabby right after the thaw, but now with a few days of a bit milder weather, they're beginning to kind of pick up color and to perk up a little bit. So again, this is looking quite nice. Little Jubutia here, as expected, is not affected. He's under a cover too. Trachycarpus other side, no problems with it, by the looks of it so far. Chamaerops humilis cerifera, no problems. Little Yucca rostrata under the cover of the big Butia odorata. Both of them look pretty nice. And let me see, maybe the new leaf here is a bit yellowish. Of course it will be, because it cannot get nutrients at this time of the year, but this is just a minor problem that I believe it will solve itself when the time improves, when the weather improves. Again, another tree fern in the background over there, looking quite nice actually. I'm pleasantly surprised by some things and their resilience. Let me see. There is no chance that I see here. Yep, T-Rex lost its foliage, but it doesn't look, it hasn't collapsed or anything, so it doesn't look too bad. The Musa basjoo at the back is of course lost his leaves, but hasn't done too badly. It hasn't collapsed. I was told that one of the big ones that we have has collapsed. So place can make all the difference. I don't know how to say it, but people have to experiment, and because certain places are just good for certain plants, and you can never really tell what it is, whether it's the soil. You can sometimes guess, of course, how sheltered it is, how much sun does it get, the soil, whether it's drier or tend to be more soggier or whatever. So it's different. Let me see. This Butia hybrid, it was looking quite sorry at some point, to be honest, and I can see some little damage here, but on the whole, it's still beautiful and it's beginning to perk up actually. Chamaerops, humilis, Etna star, perfect, nothing really with it wrong. This little Yucca, which I'm not too sure about the name, is looking nicely as well. So yeah, so far so great actually. Let me see at the back. Try to get there. Let me see this one. As expected, the most hardy, well, the hardiest part, palm tree in the world, some would say, is not being affected. Okay, what do we have here? Canary Island date palm. Oh, doesn't look too good. Doesn't look too bad either, but I know they tend to spear pull at some point if damaged. This one so far looks fine. The little Butia yatay at the back seems totally unaffected. Oh. So let's go. Let's continue our journey. I start from here now. Brahea edulis, not the hardiest of the Brahea, but probably the fastest growing. Looks damaged, but it doesn't look too bad. Let me see here. Hopefully, the new leaves will be kind of okay. So we will see, but we will know for sure in late spring. Now it's just looking first glance. Yucca elephantippus, thought by many not to be too hardy, and it isn't, but it seems to be resilient, this one. So a bit of damage, hopefully it will just grow out of it. The worst case scenario should grow new heads. Another Trachycarpus fortunae here that we've got in the garden. Of course, no problems with it. So this is what is left of this Japanese hardy banana, Musa basjoo. Let me try and see. Ooh, it is quite mushy actually already, but there is a hard part inside as well. So hopefully this will grow out of the things that have rotten in next growing season. Maybe it won't be as big, but it will still be here. Chamaerops humilis vulcano, no problem. Butia, it's an interesting case. I've been told they may be even harder than the normal Butias, but it doesn't seem to be the case. They have got some damage of the outer leaves though. The inner leaves seem to be relatively okay, so the damage is just hopefully superficial. Trachycarpus wagnerianus, no problem with it. Cold hardy sago palm, that is Siccus panzihuensis, doesn't seem to have problems. Of course the other leaves have lost some of its color, some of their color, but the new leaves seem to be great actually. So we will see how it will change for the rest, during the rest of the winter, but so far so good. Ooh, Yucca elephantippus jewel. This one seems to be quite damaged. In my experience, they're quite a bit less hardy than the normal Yucca elephantippus, so it looks quite boiled actually. But we will see, we will give it time. That little Trachycarpus here, the Greek one. No, sorry, not Trachycarpus, Phoenix, of course, Phoenix. Theoprasti. Doesn't look too good actually. And I'm afraid to actually try the spear at the middle. No, it doesn't come off, but it's too early. So hopefully we haven't lost this one, but if we have, there you go. Things happen. And we'll have to think of something else. Okay. Another Chamaerops humilis. Chamaedorea radicalis here. Lovely plant. It seems to go through everything without complaints. Reliably flowering each year. It doesn't get big. This is the stemless variety that we have here. But still, it looks, considering the circumstances, quite okay. Brahea armata. Again, some leaf damage, but it seems to be confined to the outer leaves, which are prone to suffer and to get brown anyway at some point. So if this is the only thing that this freeze, deep freeze and snow has done to it, I'll be over the moon actually. So hopefully this will be okay. The beautiful Jubutia turali. Burnt leaves, but actually the middle looks surprisingly fresh. Let me see. Yep, so far so great. When I first planted it, the first winter, we had the beast from the east, I believe, and it was it suffered actually. There was a little bit of a partly spear pool, but it actually grew out of the damage, and since then it's been growing nicely. At first the new leaves weren't as big, as beautiful as the old leaves, and I was thinking, aha, the UK form of the Jubutia turali. This is not growing in Spain, so it's never going to have this big nice leaves, but it actually in time started growing bigger and bigger, and it is quite spectacular even here. So it can grow and it can have a good form in the United Kingdom, which is great. So yeah, this looks good. Hopefully it will stay this way. This sago palm looks quite sorry. So it looks like these leaves, there is still some green in there, and it will be left until there is no green at all. It's all brown before we cut them. Hopefully it will collect whatever green it has in the leaves, and it will have a new flush the next spring. So yeah, in the meantime we will have to live with this look. Still quite good actually. Yucca Jewel. This one I was expecting to be much more resilient than it has proven to be for me, but this time maybe it was too young. So it had a couple of times damage during winters, and so far it is actually looking unaffected, which is a great news. Okay, let me continue here. What else is here? Daisy Liron, Glaucofolium. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any problems. The Butia yatay that I mentioned earlier seems to be doing quite okay. Just a little bit of leaf damage, which is nothing. The two-headed tree fern just leaf burn, but it's kind of normal. Even if it loses all of its leaves, it's kind of normal. And the one underneath actually is looking much better, because again, cover from the top. I have had this discussion and, well, disapproval from experts telling me that, oh, your plants are too close to one another. They're going to impede, and they're going to, their own growth. They're going to compete with each other. But what I have found that is a lot of times when they're close to each other, they can help each other out by providing cover and maybe even by being able to deal with a lot of sogginess in the soil. So it works both ways. That's my experience. So find what works for you if you want to try something like that. Don't always listen to the expert that would recommend you 10-meter radius around each pound to give it the best possible chance of becoming the best thing it can be. Well, this may be the best for the plant, but maybe it's not best for your garden because it's not that big. At the background we have the Trachycarpus princeps hybrid. It seems, as expected, pretty much unaffected. Dizileron longissimum here, again, doesn't seem to have a problem. Big Yucca rostrata here, again, no problem. Even the baby Yucca rostrata next to it seem to be doing quite well. I was very interested to see how this cactus is going to fare after this big freeze and big snow. And I can see here at the base maybe there's been some damage, but it doesn't look terminal. Hopefully we will see. We will need to give it a bit more time. As I mentioned, no need to really worry about the big Cordyline for me, or the big Trachycarpus fortunae. I don't think they will have any problems at all. So let's go a little bit further. Wow, Jubutia too. Oh no, that's Jubutia chilensis, as expected. No problems at all with it. The Yucca linearis that is hiding over there, and I cannot properly see it from here. Let me see how I can get there without getting all muddy, hopefully. Aha. So there it is, this beauty. Again, seems to be having no problem at all. So long may it continue. Another hybrid. Ooh, this one. Another hybrid Butia. This one doesn't look too good. The new leaf seems to have been damaged. Let me see. Let me see this one. So hopefully it's just superficial damage and it will grow out of it. And maybe just this leaf will be lost. Let me see the new growth. This one, the other one, does not look too bad. Maybe a new one. So hopefully it's just this leaf that will show most of the damage, but we will see. So this is, I forgot to say, it's a hybrid between yatay and Rhapidophyllum. So, yep, I would have expected it to be hardier than yatay, but it doesn't seem to be the case with me. The yatay is going strongly and relatively unaffected. This one is having problems. Maybe it's the soil over here is a bit more muddy than over there. Interesting. Let me show you where all this dust is coming from. The old leaves of the tree fern turning into dust. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, as they say. Dizileron microspadix. No problem with it. It's really nice to come and have a look, and for them to look as perky as this after the horrible weather I had in my mind. I kind of stopped myself even going and looking too much after the thawing and melting of the snow, but maybe I shouldn't have worried too much. They have all been through snow periods, freezing periods. As I said, natural selection and experimentation. So hopefully they will go through this alright. Okay, let me have a look here. Okay, we've been here. Let me check. Ooh, this one doesn't look too good. Turbay Dazwar, Cordyline Turbay Dazwar. It's not that dazzling anymore. So hopefully it will grow out of it, or as I said, maybe it will become two-headed. It will grow new heads. Let me see here. Still, I cannot pull it out, but plenty of time. Little Butia cherry. No problem with it. Quite nice still. As little as it looks, it seems to be quite well established here. I don't know how many years already here. It will never become big. It's the dwarf member of the family. So yeah, I'm glad to see it is doing okay. Orculensis, Trachycarpus. No problem with it. No problem with it. Seems to be doing fantastic actually. Still beautiful. Well done. Okay. Let me see. This variety of Cordyline, we had like a big stem, maybe a meter, that we lost, and those two came about to be, and they don't look too bad. Maybe one of them in the middle doesn't look too nice, and it's possible it will rot in time. Hopefully not, but if not, we'll see. Okay, this Butia Eriosfata, I'm told, though it was bought as catarinensis. Seems to be unaffected, fantastic. This hybrid between rigida and rostrata, again, looks pretty nicely still. Daisy Liron Weavery behind it. No, doesn't seem to have too much damage at all. Let me see here. This yucca. I'm trying to. Doesn't look too bad actually. I'm trying to remember its name now. What was the name of this yucca? Oh, by the way, I forgot probably to tell you the name of the hardiest palm, as they say, Rhapidophyllum